and welcome to the 2025 British Farming Awards pre-show. We are your hosts, Ash Elwood.
And I'm Ellie Layton, and we're both from the Farmer's Guardian. Throughout the show, we will be taking you on a behind-the-scenes look at the massive effort involved in delivering the British Farming Awards.
We will be looking at the setup of the venue, the process of feeding nearly 900 hungry farmers, and speaking to some key figures from around the farming industry.
After the show, stay tuned across all our social media channels to find out who the lucky winners are this year.
But before we get to the guests, let's take a quick look behind the scenes as we get ready for the biggest party in agriculture.
As our guests enter the awards, this is their first impressions. Welcome to the foyer, or as I prefer to call it, the collecting yard.
This space is available for socialising, networking before all of our guests will walk through into the main room for the meal and the awards, so let's take a walk around and see what's in store.
Back in June 2024, Farmer's Guardian introduced a photographic front cover. Our photo box gives guests the chance to be part of the cover themselves, and I don't know about you, Ash, but I think we were born cover girls.
So there are 25 awards being given out tonight, and which one's your favourite?
Well, I don't want to be biased, but it has to be the March the Hearts Awards, and that's not because I love a market breakfast. Don't get too dizzy, but check out our 360 video.
And next door we've got the photo box for all your selfies through the night.
Tonight we're celebrating the cream of the crop, whether it's industry stalwarts, March the Hearts, or some of the best farmers in the industry.
In our busy farming calendar, nights like this can be a real opportunity to let your hair down. And while we're across having our meal, this space will transform with a full dance floor and band and be ready to party because the doors don't close until 1:30.
Right, let's head to the main room and see how they're getting on. The British Farming Awards is a massive effort from everybody involved, including the many people involved in the construction of the stage and the lighting within the Vox. The team begins to build at 8 a.m. on the morning of the awards and will conclude shortly before the doors open.
Whilst the construction takes place, there are also a team of people who are hard at work setting up the room. This includes everything from the cutlery to the centrepieces to the chair covers. Every single detail is carefully considered to ensure that this is a fantastic evening for everyone attending.
Once the room is set up and complete, the evening begins, and a team of around 65 staff look after the guests to serve an amazing three-course meal, which is created from using the best of British ingredients.
So now we have seen what goes on out here to get the show ready, I'm going to go and have a wander and take a closer look at one of the highlights, the food. As you can see, I've now managed to work my way into the kitchen, and I'm here with the executive chef, Aaron Johnson-Waters. So firstly, Aaron, can you just tell us how many years have you been the chef for the British Farming Awards?
Yeah, sure. I've been at the Vox for 10 years and we've been doing the farmers for the last 4 years.
Brilliant. So when you're putting together the menu to feed everyone tonight, what are your key features you look for?
Sure. So first of all is making sure that the 900 farmers are happy with the menu, looking at locally sourced food and making sure that the farmers are happy when they leave.
So speaking about those 900 hungry farmers we've got coming, What do you do to prepare to feed everyone tonight?
Sure, it's all about preparation and making sure that I've got a really good team behind me.
Brilliant. And lastly, what is on the menu tonight?
Sure, tonight starters are having a chicken liver parfait, chicken skin, they're having a spiced pear chutney and an onion crouton. Main courses, they're having a bladed beef, slow cooked for about 4 or 5 hours in lots of really nice flavours. They're having dauphinoise potatoes, they're having root vegetables, and a veal stew. Obviously, save the best to last. They're having a ouzo cheesecake, lemon sorbet, white chocolate soil, and a basil caviar.
Gosh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait. So thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you're
problem.
really busy. I'll let you crack on. We'll pass over to Ellie now, who I believe is with the wonderful Coco Jalla.
So I'm now joined here by TikTok star and farming student, Coco Jallo. Welcome to the VFAs. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hello, my name is Coco Jello. I am about to turn 20 in like a week, and I've just finished agricultural college, I'm currently doing vet nursing at university, but I actually help on the farm with my boyfriend doing shepherding and beef cattle, a bit of dairy and a bit of arable.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything dabbling in and helping out.
Love that. So where did you go to college and where have you gone to university?
So I went to Plumpton College and I did the level 3 extended diploma in agriculture. That's actually where I met my boyfriend and started getting into farming and everything. And I'm still at Plumpton doing veterinary sciences this year and then going on to their vet nursing course.
Brilliant, love it. And you're obviously very into social media. So tell us a little bit how you think farming social media is perceived by the general public.
I think farming social media has just really helped the public to see like what we get up to, how hard it is, what we get into like in the day in the life, and like sometimes it started at 4 a.m, sometimes you're starting at 6, but then you're finishing at 3 in the morning. And I think as well for me personally, being a woman in agriculture, being a person of colour, and then like also being neurodiverse, I really enjoy getting like the comments of younger girls or people of colour being like, oh my gosh, I feel so seen, and that's what I really enjoy about it, how farming's for everyone and how that's been perceived in the media.
And have you felt that it has been positively received?
Yeah, I think for the most part it's been positively received. I think there's a part on my social media personally where I got quite a bit of racial discrimination, but I never took the video down at anything because I need people to see this how it can be, this is how it can be, but it's blossomed into something so beautiful for me that people can also see that part of it as well, which is amazing.
Brilliant, and I think it's so brilliant that you haven't been deterred by that 1%, because it is so important that it's seen.
Yeah.
So, and tonight you've been nominated for Student of the Year.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be nominated?
Honestly, it was such an honour because for my story personally, I struggled so much in secondary school, and it's not until I was seen by my old teachers, Miss Molly and Mr Dan, that made me feel like pushed towards to the career I wanted to do, because I was initially told not to pursue agriculture. So then being nominated for being highlighted for being a great student, which just meant everything to me and like my family and my support team. So yeah, it's just an absolute amazing feeling.
Brilliant. And when you had those comments saying maybe don't pursue agriculture, how did you receive them and what made you sort of think, no, I want to do it anyway?
Yeah, I just remember when I got told, I remember just crying in the toilet to my mum, and I got suspended for the day at school because they were like, you can't be on your phone. And I was like, I should have been like, I was really disheartened, but I was like, no, this is what I want to do. Like, this is where I feel most myself. This is where I feel most driven towards something and just helping people out and just being a part of, to provide for our nation. So that's what really, really pushed me forward, even with a little comment here and there.
Yeah, brilliant. And what would your advice be to any new entrant?
My advice would be is to ask questions, like ask a million questions. There's no dumb questions or any silly questions, and to be true to yourself. And if you've got that personal drive, just to go with it and to go with your gut, because it's just absolutely, it's been amazing for me, honestly.
Brilliant. Well, and finally, how can people follow you on social media?
So you can follow me on Instagram at CocoJallo21, which is all one word, and then you can also find me on TikTok at CocoJallo, just one word.
Brilliant. Well, it's been so nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you too.
Best of luck later, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Hope you have a lovely evening as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Becca and Charlotte, hello and welcome back to the British Farming Awards. I believe this isn't your first time here, is that right?
Oh, we've been quite a few years now. It is probably one of our favourite nights of the year, dare we say it.
Yeah, we time our calendar around it, I think.
Oh, fantastic. So for those people that might not recognise you, will you just tell us a bit about who you are and where you farm?
So I'm Rebecca Wilson, a sheep and arable farmer, and we are based in North Yorkshire.
I am Charlotte Ashley and I'm a dairy farmer from Cumbria.
Lovely. So what do you both think makes British farming so special?
I have to say, is it a bit cringe that it's the people? I absolutely love coming here. You catch up with people who you might have only seen last year, and this is a bit of a reunion really, and a couple of glasses of something fizzy and get on the dance floor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. The people. Absolutely the people. We are a breed apart. You know, we can complain about the weather wherever we are, no matter what outfit we're wearing, on a train, you know, in a ballroom, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're all here for it.
Just to add to that on the people, obviously there are some amazing people in the awards themselves, and I actually think you can look at them and think, what could I be doing on my farm to get better? Because there's some really amazing examples that whether it's sustainability, innovation, animal welfare, it's amazing to see.
Brilliant. That's so important to be able to take that home as well, isn't it? See how you can improve. But I think as well, obviously this isn't your first awards. How do you think the British Farming Awards has grown over the time that you've seen it?
I've been for a fair more years.
Sorry, just shove that in your face.
Thank you there, Rebecca. I've been more years than I care to remember, and I age every year and get probably more reckless with the drink every year that I come. I'd like to tell you I can remember all of them. I probably can't, but yeah, no, it's a really good night, and it's just great to see, you know, even kids that were at school coming through and being young farmers, and that's something that really impresses me every year.
Yeah, she's right. You can cut that bit out. I don't have anything else to add.
No, that's brilliant. So why do you think nights like this, you know, opportunity for people to network and socialise, nights such as the British Farming Awards, why are these so important for our industry?
Well, we don't get off the farm. Well, I mean, maybe we get off more than some people, swanning off everywhere.
We're never at home.
Sometimes you need a really good excuse in the diary to get off the farm because you are busy. You think, oh gosh, can I afford the time, or can I afford my hotel? And actually, you get here, and it's the best thing. You kind of, as long as your robots aren't going wrong, or you know, your sheep haven't escaped, you can forget about what's going on at home. And actually, there are some challenges in farming, but you kind of leave those behind when you walk in here.
Do you know what? You end up going back with a fresh pair of eyes as well. I mean, I know it's Birmingham and, you know, it's not exactly Spain or anything like that. We're not going on holidays. The majority of us don't take holidays, let's be honest. And a night away is something that is much needed, I think, especially when, let's be honest, it's not exactly a brilliant time in farming at the moment, but something like this, it gives you a little bit of a boost and we all really enjoy it.
Absolutely, no, that's lovely. You were both at the Young British Farming Awards last month, I believe. How did you find it?
Oh, wasn't it just amazing?
It was absolutely wonderful, and they were inspirational young people and so well behaved, the younger ones, to sit for such a lengthy period of time as well.
That's quite surprising, actually.
And they were all really well behaved, they did good.
It's nice to see, and we're by no means old, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to see. I mean, the youngest was was he maybe 7 or something like that, which is absolutely amazing that people are getting that enthusiastic for farming, you know, from that age. It's amazing.
So finally, if people want to follow your journeys, where can they find you on social media?
Well, we do a podcast, so you can find us at Wilson and Ashley on most things. And then at Rebecca Wilson Farming for myself.
And Charlotte Ashley Farm on everything.
Brilliant, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time. I'll let you get back to your nights.
Cheers.
The Marks the Heart Awards are now in their 10th year and they play a major role across the industry. Ellie is now joined by one of the first winners of this prestigious award.
Thank you, Ash. And tonight we are in a room filled with amazing people, and I'm joined with another one now, who is Meg Elliott. So, Meg, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the mart that you work in?
Well, you've just said my name's Meg Elliott, and I work at Bagshaws at Bakewell and at Leek Auctions, specialising in selling the dairy cows, really, predominantly, but also store cattle. So, yeah, cattle-based, yeah.
Lovely. And you won the Marks the Heart New Auctioneer of the Year award back in 2016. How did it feel to win the award?
Real tremendous honour. It's really nice to be recognised, particularly, probably even more so then, as a woman in a predominantly male-orientated environment. I mean, we all try very, very hard at our jobs and work very, very hard, and it was just really humbling to be recognised for what we do. Yeah. And it just made, it was lovely. Yeah, really, really nice.
And it's so nice for females to be recognised in such
Absolutely.
A male-dominated area.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give to the new crop of new auctioneers?
Well, along a lot of the finalists tonight, I've had the pleasure of teaching, because I've now started teaching at Harper Adams as well. So I do know virtually all of them, and they are, I can say without any shadow of a doubt, they're just such an amazing group. Well, all of them are really talented, very hard-working, and I would think, I know there can only be one winner. However, I just think they should all be so proud of themselves for being nominated and being recognised for their hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. And auctioneering is definitely a role that is not off the clock. And just like farmers, and they bring all the time. So I think it's definitely such a trait to be here. Yeah. And you've just spoke a little bit about what you're doing at Harper. How has your role developed since you've won the award?
So my role, predominantly, obviously, a lot of responsibility with selling. All selling is a massive responsibility and comes with pressures. But obviously I've started going to Harper Adams as well. And teaching on the market operations course, in which is it's a great course. It's nice to be able to give some of what I hope is good advice and knowledge with regard to the industry and the ins and outs and the ups and downs, because there are many downs alongside the ups, so that they get some value from me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your
welcome.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm now joined by Great British Breaker and Great British Farmer Mike Wilkins. Hello. For those people that might not recognise you, can you tell us who you are and where you farm?
Yep, so I'm Mike Greenwood Wilkins, and I farm down in Wiltshire on the beautiful North Wessex Downs with my family at Nolan's. And the place that people may have seen me from is, as you mentioned, the Great British Bake Off.
It's been about a year, has it, since you starred on Great British Bake Off? How can you sort of put into words how your life has changed, or what's been different for you over the last 12 months?
I mean, the last year has been manic, not just because of Bake Off, but I also got married this year. So we've had like the whole whirlwind of Bake Off, which has just been absolutely incredible. It was the most wonderful experience, and it's given me so many opportunities since, like being here tonight, and I just have absolutely loved being able to hopefully be a positive voice for British farming and celebrating and championing what we do at home. And people seem to like that and find it interesting. And yeah, it was so lovely on Bake Off. I got to talk loads about British produce, British food. I tried to use, well, literally everything I used in the tent. If it wasn't from our farm, I worked with the NFU to make sure that I used produce from members, local farms. And talking about that with Paul and Prue was such a privilege, and yeah, absolutely wonderful, loved it.
Brilliant. Wow, what a year you've had. I mean, I bet it's been an absolute whirlwind.
It has been manic. We've also built a grain store as well, so just to give us another thing to try and do.
Amazing. No, that's brilliant. So obviously we're here tonight and you've been nominated for Content Creator of the Year. How does that feel?
Bonkers, really, because you see like there's so many amazing influencers, to want to use that word, within farming, and being such amazing advocates and vocal people standing up for British agriculture, and I love to see it, and I think it's so amazing that we get to have this connection directly with the British public to really talk about what we do and celebrate what we do, and it still feels weird that I have a bit of a platform that I can now do that as well. So it just feels like a real privilege to be able to do, and yeah, still slightly in shock that I'm here.
Oh, no, that's incredible. Amazing. And obviously social media has such a huge impact, and it does so much for the industry. What do you think it has done for farming in terms of public perception?
Oh, I think there is so much. News is now so constant, and it's so reactionary, and it's so confrontational a lot of the time. And there's so much misinformation, and people kind of like to be a bit aggressive and argumentative in the news a lot of the time. And you get the headlines, and that's a lot of what people from a non-farming background sort of see. And breaking through that is so difficult. And actually, we've got such an amazing, positive story to tell as British farmers. We produce amazing food, we look after our gorgeous countryside, we're doing so many incredible things. And getting that nuance across to people in like mainstream media and news is so difficult. So the fact that so many farmers now have a platform where they can talk directly to consumers, and people seem so interested. People care about where the food comes from, they care about animal welfare, they care about the environment, and they're seeking out real information from real people. And the fact that there's so many farmers out there who are willing to feed that and to spend their time producing content and information to hopefully educate and entertain people, I just think is amazing. And I think it's done, having social media within farming has done so much to enable us to put our side of the story across. And so the fact that the BFA have this award, everyone else that's nominated are all doing such amazing things, and to champion and celebrate that, I just think is amazing. I'm so glad, regardless that I'm one of the nominees, I just think it's such an amazing thing for the BFA to do and to champion, and it's just so important.
No, that's brilliant, and it's so exciting, and it's so crucial for our industry, isn't it, to really push the message forward?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like all we're doing constantly is like we're fighting for our space within like conversations within government and within DEFRA, and having our seat at the table and being out there and having a platform. You know, the NFU this year, their latest survey statistics say that farmers are seen by the public second only to nurses as their most trusted and favoured of any industry, and that's such a privilege that we're thought of so highly. And if we weren't out there talking to the public and telling them all the great things that we do, I don't think we'd have that. And that's so important when we go to government, when we go to Keir Starmer and we're arguing for all the things we are around stewardship and inheritance tax and everything else. Having that backing of public support, I think, makes our voice so much louder. So yeah, it is so important. It's easy to kind of like fob it off as being a bit frivolous, and sometimes it is, and it's great for that. But actually, there is a really serious positive behind it that's really helping the industry. So,
no, that's lovely. No, that's brilliant. And as we look around the room tonight, obviously there are people flooding in that have all...
so many people.
have all got dressed up and come here today. And obviously the British Farming Awards is an event where we can get together and celebrate. How important do you think events like this are for the industry?
I think it's absolutely incredible, because it's this type of, like, you see like all the big award ceremonies like the Oscars and stuff like that, which are lovely and amazing, but you actually think seeing something like this, celebrating an industry that works so hard and faces so much hardship a lot of the time, I think actually to all get together to celebrate positivity, and I can't wait to hear about more of all of the nominees in all the categories tonight. And I know that we'll just all be so inspired by all the amazing things that people are doing. And it's so easy, being on the farm. It's very isolating and not kind of talking to people. And, especially if things aren't going well, the weather this year has been so difficult, you can end up getting stuck in a bit of a rut and a bit of negativity. And to come here and to celebrate this, and hopefully all of the kind of optics on social media afterwards of people talking about it, I just think it's such a lovely boost for have the whole industry coming together and talking really positively about what's going on. It's amazing. And I didn't realise there was going to be so many people here. It's mad.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's lovely. So just finally, obviously, if people want to follow along with your journey, where can they find you on social media?
So you can find me at MikeSQW on Instagram, or at Nolans.uk is our farm page as well. So yeah, follow along for the craziness, and there's a bit of baking, there's a bit of my dog, and lots of the farm. So
that sounds lovely. Well, thank you very much for spending the time.
So
nice to chat to you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we're joined here by the lovely Harriet Cowan. Thank you for joining us. So first of all, can you tell us a bit about yourself for those people that might not know?
Yeah, so my name's Harriet Cowan. I'm 24 and I live in Derbyshire. A few people might know me off of Clarkson's Farm, which I appeared in Series 4, which came out this May. And yeah, I farm beef and sheep on our family farm in Derbyshire.
Okay. And is this your first time at the awards?
It is my first time here, so it's actually it's incredible to see how many farmers actually come out and celebrate, our industry, and it's insane to see all these people and people that I've never met and people that I know really well and people that I've met through social media and all, people just here to celebrate farming.
Yeah, definitely, and we're all here from the same flock, but why do you think it's so important that we celebrate nights like these?
I think to really put into the eye of everyone how important farming really is, and we're often quite alone in the industry. It's quite a solo job. So for us to see all these people that are in the same boat as you every day, and to get to speak to like-minded people like yourself, I think that's really important.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier that you have been on Clarkson's Farm, but had you had any TV experience, and how's your life changed since you've been on?
I didn't have anything before. Probably people knew that. They were like, wow, this girl is not trained in TV. But yeah, it's done a 360. My life has completely. I mean, before the show, I was nursing 5 days a week, and now I've been lucky enough to take a step back. I'm still keeping my nursing pin, and it's something I am really passionate about nursing. But right now, this is the place I want to take my career. I want to do full-time farming, and just unfortunately before it wasn't there for me because there wasn't the money in the industry, which is really sad. And I know so many young my age of my generation that can't go into the family farm because there's just not the money there. So this is just giving me that like free ticket to go do what you want, you know, go and do your farming, go and get the like word about farming out there into the public. So it's just completely changed my life.
Definitely. And what do you think the reception has been from the general public into your new role, and especially as a female on the...
Yeah, I mean, I was really nervous because obviously Kay's like a massive like figure now, and he's loved across the whole of the like world. So for me, it was massive shoes to fill. But I'm hoping I did him justice. But it was. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better reception. You know, people were so lovely, and I've not had, you know, there is obviously all them internet warriors that aren't that nice, but you know, the amount of girls that have come up to me, and young girls and parents, and you know, that have been like, oh, my daughter couldn't go into farming, she didn't see it as like a worthwhile job, but since you've been on the show, it's, you know, opened up horizons. She's looked at it and gone, well, if Harriet can do it, I want to go and do it. And for me, that's all I ever really wanted. I wanted young girls that were just like me, that didn't really think that they could go into farming, to now look at it as like an industry that they're welcome into and that they can succeed in.
Yeah, and I bet that's such a nice position to be in.
It's so nice, honestly. I love it. I just love that. Like, if I could hear people, you know, talk to young girls every day and tell them, you can do it, you definitely can, just throw yourself into it and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, I would. That's all I want to do.
And you never know where it could lead you. You could be off to Australia next, like Caleb. So
it's a long way.
And last but not least, what are you most looking forward to about this evening?
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to talking and chatting and having fun with all these amazing people and these hard-working people that, you know, we don't really get a day off. So to see people here and not in wellies and dressed up, that we don't actually look like farmers tonight, and it's just nice to have a night off and everyone just let their hair down and have fun.
Definitely. Well, you look absolutely lovely.
Oh, thank you, so do you.
Well, I hope you enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much.
I thought you might be here. I managed to grab you a drink before the show starts.
Thank you. And cheers to everyone at home for tuning in, and to our guests tonight for taking the time to chat to us.
We're up on the stage, but in the room, people are starting to filter in and get ready for the main event.
So make sure you stay tuned into all our social media channels throughout the evening to find out who will be taking home the awards tonight.
Right, we better go and take our seats. But before we go, cheers.